The first thing to know about the eoTouch application from an administrator side is to harness the power of walkarounds to use lists and locations. You need the retail plugin. The retail plugin is free from Rutherford Associates, and it installs just like a normal plugin. You may have to update your tech link, but then you should be able to go to File, Database Administration, Upgrade, and see the uninstalled plugin. Like I said, the plugin's free and it shouldn't take long to install, and it's out there for anyone. All you have to do is update the tech link and install it. By installing the retail plugin, it's going to add two options to when you go to Records, Customer. There's going to be a product target list and a retail section. It'll look like this: Records, Customer, Retail, List Types. List Types is where you need to go to set up your lists and locations. So if I switch back to eoStar and go there myself, Records, Customer, Retail, List Types. Both lists and locations are here. If you're coming in here for the first time, you'll get the common eoStar pop-up to create a record, and it'll suggest a record number. In this case, over the last few days, I've already started creating some list types. If we're creating a new one, like the rest of eoStar, go ahead and click New. It'll suggest a number, and go ahead and proceed. You can name it anything you would like, such as walk-in cooler. And then below there's a list category. What you choose here will determine how the list or location behaves. The top choice is list, and we'll create a list which is separate from the locations. Locations allow you to do inventory counts in a place, whereas lists is simply a list, such as you create a shelf sequence where you don't count, or a manager's list if someone always gives you an order, so you can make it match that. Or you could use it for on-premise accounts for wine if you wanted to create the list of how the menu is, so you could go through the list and help create retail prices. All the rest of these are locations. The important one to note about these is backstock, this second location, is different than the other locations in that it will interact with everything else. So is generic location, is warm shelf, is cold shelf. These locations at a customer will assume that anything that's lower than par there, say you had a par of 10 and now you're only counting 5, if you have 5 of that same product in the backstock location, it's assuming that you will refill either your warm shelf, cold shelf, walk-in cooler from the backstock and not be automatically generating orders. The exception would be if there's something on the warm shelf location at a same customer that has a backstock, but the product isn't listed in both. This could come up in instances like craft beers, where maybe they only buy what they can keep out on the floor and they don't carry a backstock. Then when you're making your counts of the warm shelf and you say that there's still room to stock more craft beer and it's not in the backstock location, it will be generating the order for you there, saying you would like more at the customer. Other than that, the locations behave the same. It's simply a matter of tracking and help you count, and you can set up different types for the customers. For this instance that I was creating, I named it walk-in cooler. I'll name it walk-in cooler 1. And so instead of leaving it as is list, I change it to is walk-in cooler. And go ahead and hit save. That's all you have to do to create a location. If you'd like to create a wine list, you can, or I already have a wine list, so I can say I want to create a manager list and just leave it on is list and save it. That's all it takes to set up. I'm going to switch to the iPad to show you where our new list and locations have come up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and launch my eoTouch location. Application. Give it a second to catch up to me. There we go. So now, a typical day, you would full sync at the start. I'm not going to. I sank before this presentation, so the new manager list and walk-in cooler that we just created aren't on my device yet. So if I go to route, pick a customer, edit lists and locations, and I go to add a list. Under list types, the only list type I have are wine. If I want to add a location, I have warm shelf, I have 2 end caps and a backstock location. I don't have the walk-in cooler yet. But if I go all the way back and full sync my device, I'm going to be able to get the updated list of locations. So this is a way that even if you're starting to use it and you don't have all the locations created, maybe you just giving a sales manager's one of your first guinea pigs, and they say, oh, I want a second end cap and we only have 1 end cap or something. You could easily create an end cap in the back end. You saw how quick it was for us. And then they could full sync their device. Click new order again. Add a location. And now we have our new walk-in cooler. Or if I needed a new list type, we've got the manager list there. So that's all it takes in the back end to give the power to the sales force to create multiple locations. I've seen customers of ours that have created, end caps 1 through 10, back coolers 1 through 10 in case there's a large store that has multiple, or you have like a Home D that has a couple walk-in coolers and things like that.